Hi, I'm Sara Woods, MBA admissions consultant for Solomon Admissions Consulting. Formerly, I was an assistant director of admissions for the Kellogg School of Management. During my time at Kellogg, I met with thousands of applicants. I met them at business school fairs, admissions events, admissions information sessions, and during interviews. I was on the team that interviewed applicants and read every application that came into the program. I look forward to sharing some insight into the Kellogg admissions process with you today. I would say the most important thing to remember about Kellogg is that they truly value people and teamwork. It is very important that you as an applicant can demonstrate your passion for working with others and your commitment to being part of a team or multiple teams. If you want a business school where you can go off and study by yourself, Kellogg is not the place for you. Inside the classroom, it is very team-oriented. There will be lots of projects, lots of ways to interact with your classmates and get to know them and learn from them. Even outside of the classroom, there are student activities, student clubs, trips, case competitions, conferences. It is totally structured around networking, getting to know your peers, getting to know people in other business schools. So throughout your application experience, in the essays, during the interview, you will want to highlight again and again how you are able to work with people and that you are ready to join Kellogg and be part of the community. Leadership is another very important aspect at Kellogg. Kellogg is seeking to nurture the next great global leaders. So they want to know from you how you have led in the past and how your time at Kellogg can develop you further as a leader. There will be lots of opportunities within the curriculum to develop your leadership skills, and there are also opportunities outside of the classroom as well. Student clubs, student-led government, and case competitions are some examples. Some students even organize student-led conferences. You will also want to highlight your leadership experience during your application. So this is in your essays, during your interviews. Talk about your leadership experiences so far and how you've grown throughout your time in your current position. What new initiatives have you taken on? What groups have you worked with in your department and cross-functionally? Talk about those and talk about what you want to learn at Kellogg to help you become an even better leader. You could also mention leadership experiences outside of the work environment, but those work experiences will be the most compelling to the admissions committee. One of the biggest misconceptions about Kellogg is that it's a marketing school. And while the marketing program has had a long, stellar reputation, Kellogg has advanced in many areas across the board, and there are many aspects that make it a strong program. In recent years, students are being placed in jobs at quite a high rate in the areas of financial services, healthcare, and consulting. Kellogg essays. I really enjoy talking about essays and helping applicants with essays because it's an opportunity. It is not a chore. It is an opportunity to tell the admissions committee about yourself in your own words. This is your time to talk about what makes you unique as a person. So you do want to talk about behavioral skills or behavioral personality traits that make you unique, and also any experiences that have shaped you. You could also tell about what you have achieved and how that has shaped you. Don't hesitate to talk about something personal that has sort of impacted your worldview or how you see yourself as a business person. It's okay to be a little bit vulnerable, but tie it back to your goals. So that's another thing you want to make sure to emphasize in your essays are your goals. Academically, while you're in a business program, and then also career-wise. Talk about specifically what you want to learn and how you will apply it. It's very important that you're consistent in your messaging throughout the application package. So even if you talk to an admissions counselor at a information session, be very consistent with what you say in your essays, and be consistent with what your messaging is during your interview. It should all say the same thing, and it should all be very clear and goal-oriented. The reason for that is because time in the business school goes very fast, and the admissions committee are looking for applicants who know what they want to do, who have already done their research, and who know exactly the classes they want to take, the activities they want to get involved in, the professors they want to learn from. That can make for a very strong application. So please do your research about each business school that you're applying to. This is not a one-size-fits-all approach. You need to be very specific with your research and write essays that are very specific to each business school you want to apply to. If you are not, it will be easy for each business school to tell. So when you're doing your research about Kellogg and writing your essays about Kellogg, you will want to reflect in your essays what you have learned during your research. Again, classes, professors you want to learn from, experiences you want to have. There are so many things at Kellogg to get involved with. It is easy to find something that you can talk about in your essays, and it is easy to imagine how you would get involved. A weak application is one that is going to be inconsistent in your goals, messaging. So if you talk about wanting to major in marketing during your essays, but then when you come in for the interview, start talking about management or consulting, that's going to be a red flag. Be very consistent. The other thing that makes for a weak application is not doing your research. Again, they will be able to tell if you have crafted some generic essay, it's not going to fly. Kellogg reads so many applications. You have to be very specific about how you're going to get involved, what you're going to give back to the Kellogg community, and also be very consistent about what you want to learn and show them that you have done your research and you have not just plugged in the name Kellogg into your generic essay. The goal for you as an applicant, when after the application is read, the goal for you is that the admissions committee walks away remembering something about your essay that was very unique that they have not read before. Okay, interviews. Interviews are another chance to tell your story as an applicant, to tell what makes you unique. And very similar to the essay, you get to talk in your own words, but in the interview, you get to make a personal connection, which as an admissions committee member, I always loved meeting the applicants in person and hearing their story and talking to them in a relaxed environment where you can just learn more about them as a person and as a professional. So in the Kellogg interview, it might feel more like a conversation than an interview, and that's the point. They want you to be relaxed and confident. It's not a pressure-filled interview. Nobody's going to be grilling you or anything like that. It's a conversation, but as an applicant in the conversation, you still want to be very professional. So very professionally dressed, professional in your communication, and professionally poised. That means not talking negative about past work experiences or colleagues. It means being succinct in your answers. Don't drone on with too many details. If the admissions committee, if the person who's interviewing you wants more detail, they will ask. So you have to strike a balance. You don't want to have super short answers, but don't go on and on with details that are, not relevant. And when you are talking about your past experiences, you want to frame them in a positive light. So even if you may have had a horrible experience with a supervisor, you'll want to frame that as an opportunity where you learn something, because through every bad experience, there is something to be learned. And as a business school applicant, you're smart enough and savvy enough to know how to frame that in a way that can be seen as positive, an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to learn. Practice walking someone through your resume, where you graduated from college, what you majored in there, maybe one or two highlights, how you got involved on campus, maybe a leadership opportunity, a study abroad experience or something like that. But very quickly then move on to where you started in your career and how you progressed. And best case scenario is that you can show a linear path in that career progression, something that makes sense. You started here and then you moved up after a year and then you got promoted and you have continued to grow. That is the story that you really want to make clear to the admissions committee, that career track progression. You're on the right upward trajectory. If you have bounced around a little bit and had some lateral experiences or some experiences with different companies, you'll want to be able to explain why that is the case in a way that makes sense, and that doesn't seem like you're stagnant in your career. So take some time to think about how you want to communicate that and give that some practice. For more information and guidance, and even maybe to schedule a mock interview, contact Solomon Admissions Consulting. One of the things I enjoyed most about working with Kellogg is that Kellogg employs a holistic application process. It's not just about grades and scores. It's about you as an entire person. So they want to look at career development, your personality, your ability to work with people and work in teams, and your potential for leadership. They'll look at your goals. Are they realistic for what Kellogg has to offer? They'll also consider your essays and your interview. These things are all part of what makes you a great applicant, and you'll want to spend time on every component. Don't just worry about your past grades or what you scored on the GMAT. Think about everything and how it contributes to you as a holistic applicant. Another really unique thing about Kellogg is that they have part-time and full-time programs that are very highly ranked, and you should spend some time thinking about which option is right for you. And don't waver on that. If you want to be full-time, apply full-time. If you want to be part-time, apply part-time. There are definite benefits to both. A full-time student is usually someone who's been working for a few years, has made a little progression, but wants to step away and really focus on business school for a couple of years and then pick back up in their career and go from there. The part-time applicant tends to be a little bit older, not necessarily, but sometimes a little bit older, and someone who has already made really good progress in their career and wants to keep progressing during their time in an MBA program. So they don't want to step away from their job. In fact, they want to learn as they go and apply what they learn real time. So this is a great option for many people, and the part-time program shouldn't be thought of as a lesser option. In fact, it's pretty unique in its strength as a program and how you can continue to progress in your career while you're in the MBA and meet other people who are doing the same, other people who have jobs right now and aren't going to be looking for jobs after the MBA is over. So do your research and really think about which option is best for you, and then stay strong in that. Be clear if you want to go part-time or full-time, and don't waver in that. Another thing that I strongly recommend is to get on the radar of the admissions committee early on. So sign up for their mailing list, attend Kellogg events, attend information sessions, visit a class, follow Kellogg professors so you know what they're researching and how they teach and what their specialization is. Follow them on blogs, read their articles. And also you might want to consider connecting with a former student or a current student. Sometimes there's options to sit in on a class, which can be a great way to experience Kellogg and get a feel for what it's like. The reason this is so important is because once you're on the radar at Kellogg, they're tracking your interactions with the program. And it's going to be to your benefit as an applicant to have a history with them, to show that you've been putting in work the past few months to get to know Kellogg. It is far better to have those connections already established than to submit an application cold. Like they get an application and they've never heard of you. There might be some skepticism around, have you done your research? Is Kellogg a really good fit for you? Do you even know? Are you just applying to Kellogg because it's in Chicago? So really spend some time engaging with Kellogg to get on their radar. Customize your application. This is not a one-size-fits-all experience. You want to make sure to research what Kellogg has to offer and match that with your learning goals and your career aspirations. So if you know that there's a professor at Kellogg that is outstanding in the area that you want to grow in, mention it. Talk about it. Talk about what you would like to learn from that professor and what classes you are excited about taking and how that can be applied to your work life and how that will help you progress in your future. The admissions committee wants to see, they want to see the vision, like how is this going to help you later on, and how is this going to turn you into a more successful business leader? Because in the end, that's what they want. They want to produce people who are good at their job and who are leaders in industry and who maybe even have global reach. So be really specific and mention those things in a casual conversation with someone from Kellogg, in your application essays, in your interview, and be consistent with those learning goals and career aspirations. Also, another thing to keep in mind about Kellogg is that there are a lot of experiential learning opportunities and global learning opportunities. So don't be afraid to look into those as well. Those are a great way to broaden your skill set even further, create a global reach for yourself, and make connections with peers and colleagues around the globe. So again, match your past experiences with what you hope to learn at Kellogg and what you hope to take from Kellogg to the next level in your career. Also, talk about how you will give back to Kellogg or how you will contribute while you are there. How will you get involved in the Kellogg community, whether that's student clubs, student government, those global trips. Maybe you want to organize a conference. Maybe you want to start a new club because you feel like there's a niche that needs to be added to the Kellogg experience. So all of those things are things that you will want to talk about during the application process. And those are things that are welcome at Kellogg because it's a great place full of really exciting people who want to learn from each other and engage with each other and work on teams together. Okay, I have 3 big takeaways regarding Kellogg. Number 1, carefully tailor your application to Kellogg. Do your research. The MBA is a significant investment, and you owe it to yourself to do the research to find out which MBA program is best for you. And if Kellogg isn't it, that's okay. You want to find a program where you will thrive and you will get what you need to progress in your career. Kellogg has a lot to offer, so spend time looking through everything and thoroughly do your research. That doesn't just mean internet research. That means talking with people, going to events, getting as involved as you can. If you are not in the Chicago area, there are alumni events and prospective student events around the country. Get in touch with someone who can put you in touch with those events and put yourself out there. Meet some people, meet some applicants, start talking about the MBA, talk to current students and alumni, see what they like best, what they've gotten out of the experience. Number 2, tell your story in an authentic way that has maximum impact. When the admissions committee member puts down your application, you want them to walk away still thinking about it. So really take time to craft your essays and your message in a way that tells a story that no one else can tell. That's specific to you and your experiences and what you hope to gain from your time at Kellogg. Number 3 is to consistently talk about your learning goals and your career goals. So again, match those to what Kellogg has to offer. Don't talk about taking a class that Kellogg doesn't offer. That's a huge red flag. Do your research on the classes. Talk about why you want to take that class or why you want to learn from that professor. The time in an MBA program goes so fast. It's just 2 years. So you want to communicate that you have a plan and you're going to hit the ground running and you know the path you want to take. You know what you want to learn and what you want to get out of your experience. So my parting words is to remember every applicant has a unique story. Kellogg has a holistic application process. You want to use all those components to tell the admissions committee about yourself and focus on communicating your story with maximum impact. And if you need help with that, Solomon Admissions Consulting can help.